Like a lot of people, I'm just so freaking angry right now with this, with what's going on in the world, and specifically the instances of this police brutality and this militarization of our police force in this country is just it's so way out of control, and I don't understand why more people aren't um, angry about it. Well, I take that back. I do understand why more people aren't angry about it because of the narratives that have been created, because people live in fear. We are desperate. And so when you're fearful and desperate, then you will sacrifice your liberties. You will sacrifice your freedoms. You will sacrifice things so that you can have some semblance of security. So I do understand. Um, I'm just angry that people don't see through the distractions. They don't see through the um, the divide and conquer tactics that have been engaged by the plutocracy that we live in. Um, all of these things are designed as distractions to keep us from seeing the real issue, which is we don't live in a democratic republic anymore. We live in an oligarchy. We live in a plutocracy where a small percentage of wealthy power elite um, control the narrative and control this country. And you may say, well, David, you're sounding kind of crazy now because you're sounding conspiratorial. But what the hell do you think it means? What the hell do you think these people expect when you spend $400 million in a midterm election, or you spend all these millions of dollars to buy elected officials? You think they don't want a return on their investment? Do you think they're not getting a return on their investment? The money they spend to buy senators and representatives and to buy our federal government, that money, that is just a peanuts compared to the profits that they're reaping and generating by buying these guys off. So that's first and foremost. That's I digress. Like I said, I'm so fucking angry I can barely think. I want to speak to the militarization of our police, and specifically how that militarization is resulting in the death of innocent black folks. Um, it's resulting in the death and the violence against all kinds of Americans, but specifically, it's resulting in the death of black folks. Okay, um, white folks should be concerned. Every American of every shade and color and walk of life should be concerned. But you know what? We don't see a whole bunch of white folks getting blown away by the police um, and choked out by the police. That's not happening a whole lot in the white community, but it's happening a lot with us. And quite frankly, I'm not going to wait until it's me before I speak up and say something about it. Because guess what? It could easily be me. I've been pulled over for driving while black in my own damn driveway right here in Rowlett, Texas. So, you can't tell me that this stuff isn't real, that this stuff isn't happening. We're seeing it with these video cameras and the inability of average Americans just to call bullshit, just to say, you know what, that's wrong. You need to fucking check yourself. For you to sit up here and try to say, well, what did he do? Did he have this and he have that? I'm not advocating criminality. I'm not. I'm not saying that these people should not have been confronted by the police. But I am saying that the fucking police shouldn't just kill us because they've already made their mind up that we're some kind of savage beast that deserves to be killed. That's what I'm saying. And so look, here's what we need to do, because I don't want to just get on here and spit out my opinion and my anger and frustration without some type of call to action. Because we need action. We don't need just anger and protest in the damn street. We need to take some real action. So here's what we need to do immediately. And we need to call on our elected officials. We need to find out where they stand. And if they don't stand where we stand, we need to get rid of their ass. First and foremost, we need to get body cameras on all of these cops and have them use those body cameras. And then we need to implement citizen review boards that review those cameras randomly so we can police our police. Because right now we don't have any policing of the police. Anything goes with the police. They're just right all the time. They can go kill people, strangle people out in the streets, violate people, brutalize people. People die in their custody, and we don't even, and there's no investigation or some half-ass silence of the blue wall investigation where good cops or quote unquote good cops cover up for the bad cops. That bullshit's got to stop. And the only way it's going to stop is by citizen engagement and a lack of apathy. We got to get rid of the apathy. So back up. First thing we need to do is we need to get engaged, get educated, and embrace our responsibility and duty as citizens. We have fallen down on that as an American populace. We are so disengaged. We're so consumed with our own personal interests. We don't even know what it means to be a citizen. We don't know what it means to have any responsibility. We think somebody else is going to fight the fight. Somebody else is going to march in the protest. Somebody else is going to do the voting. That's just bullshit. I call bullshit on the American people. Get your asses up. Stop playing team. Stop getting on that team. I'm on the Democrat team. I'm on the Republican team. Be on the fucking American team. I don't care where the ideas come from. I just want good ideas and for us to take action on them. I don't give a shit who gets credit for it. I'm tired of this. Don't we see that this is just divide and conquer politics? It's divide and conquer. If I'm fighting with you over who's sleeping with whom, I don't really see the plutocracy working. I don't see the divisiveness. I don't see the militarization of a small town police force who gets a fucking tank. They need a tank for in these little small Kansas towns and small Texas towns. You don't need no damn tanks. That's not for fighting terrorism. That's for oppressing the populace. We need to get engaged, Americans. We need to stop fighting amongst ourselves, Americans. We need to take our country back. We need to get engaged and be citizens. There's a duty, a responsibility we have, and we have been shirking it for years. We got to stop. We have to be accountable. We got to get involved, know the issues, and then follow a code of right. If you see something that's wrong, if you see something that's obviously wrong, these videotapes are showing these cops beating people down when they were already submissive. They're shooting people. They shot Tamar Price. They didn't get his kid a warning. They didn't say anything. They rolled up and shot that boy. That's wrong. And for us not to be able to fucking see that and call bullshit, that's the part that disheartens me, is that when we can sit up here and watch a video of wrong and then people start talking away the wrongness. They start talking away and justifying that shit. Civic duty and responsibility is one. Once we do that, then we need to go in, hold our elected officials accountable, find out where they vote, find out where they come down on the issues of the day and the issues that affect our communities. And if they don't, then we get rid of them. Build our economic power base. Build our political power base. When we go out and protest, we need to protest with purpose. Okay? We need to have a set of objectives, an agenda, things that we want done that has caused us to come out and bring attention to an issue. With us just bringing attention to the issue and bitching and moaning on Facebook with no purpose, it's just stupid. It just goes away. So what needs to happen is we need to demilitarize our police. We need to start that process, contact our legislators and tell them we don't want military in our community. We don't. We want our police to be community policing. We want them to know who the people are who live in these communities. We want to know them. All cops aren't bad. This ain't about all cops being bad. They are not. There are some good cops. But damn it, if you are a good cop and you see bad cops, then fucking you better say something. Because then you become a bad cop. And that's what we got this blue wall of silence. That shit needs to come down. So the Citizen Review Board is part of what's going to tear that down. Body cameras is going to hold them accountable. It will also hold perps accountable too, because there are things that cops are subjected to that the criminal element is doing, and they need to be protected as well. So this isn't just about beating up on the cops. This is about saying, look, we need to clean up the cops, okay? When you got bad elements, you need to get them out. And so you need to work with us, get out the bad elements, and there needs to be accountability on both sides. The community needs to follow the laws and need to be engaged, but the police need to follow them too. They are not above the law, that's supposed to freaking support and abide. So there have got to be better psyche valves. We can't hire bullies to be our police. We have to make sure that our servicemen and women who are coming back home from Afghanistan and Iraq and overseas, that they are passing these psyche valves, because a lot of them are suffering from PTSD. And we've hyped them up and trained them to go be killers in war, but we don't train them how to come back and deal with those pressures and those the internal wounds. So we need to be sensitive to our police and our the people who strive to be police officers. So there's accountability on both sides. Um, so we need to find the organizations who are championing that fight. We don't have to recreate the wheel. There are groups out there who are already fighting that fight, who are already fighting to demilitarize the police. So we need to find out who they are, and if they're doing a good job at it, then we need to join them, and we need to increase their ranks so that that our elected officials know that we're serious. That's the thing, is they know we're not serious. They know we're easily distracted. We're easily divided. We've got to get committed as citizens to say, look, our government was created by the people and for the people. We are the government. We can't keep railing against the government as if we're detached from it. We are the government. And so we've got to stop allowing, again, the plutocrats know that. The people with all this money who are flooding our elections with this money, they know that. They know that it's since time immemorial they have been divide and conquer. So we need to understand that. Stop fighting amongst ourselves. We agree on, probably, if we had 10 items, on 7 or 8, we probably agree on them. People need to work. People need to pay their fair share. It's not your business what I do in my bedroom. It's not your business what I do in my body. Where I have the freedom of privacy. As long as my actions don't infringe upon your right to life, liberty, and the pursuit, leave me the hell alone. Okay? So we agree. I'm telling you, if we would write down many things, nobody is just a Republican. Nobody's just a conservative. Nobody's just a Democrat or a liberal. You know what? We take different positions on different things. So that's what it means to be an American. So we got to have accountability. I mentioned protesting with purpose. You know, we need to make sure that folks are registered to vote. So when all those numbers go out in the street, and the elected official who's also in the pocket of the plutocrat, when he sees the thousands and thousands of people around the country protesting, that's a clear message that either you do what we ask you to do or we're booting your ass out. You need to do what the electorate, what the American people are asking you to do. Enough of this bullshit where your constituents are the people who are paying for your election campaign. Your constituents are the people who live in that district that you're supposed to represent. That's the real issue. And so these are the things we need to start doing. Civic responsibility, be engaged, know what the hell your elected officials are doing. Stop fighting over BS. Stop being easily distracted. Stop being afraid. Stop being desperate. Start living with courage. Start getting involved. Stop making excuses. So I've said a lot, and I'm gonna put some links up because again, I think people need to have a call to action. You need to know what you do. So first of all, call to action. Find out who your elected officials are. Find out. Go to the Secretary of State website at in your city and find or your state and find out who your elected officials are. Find out what your districts are for your state reps and find out who your city council members are and your mayor. Find out who your police chief is. Find out where they stand on all this police brutality. Call up the police office and the police department and say, listen, I'm a concerned citizen and I know we may not have, like Rowlett, we don't have a whole bunch of issues with this police brutality stuff that I know of. I'm going to find out. I've met the police chief at a couple of city hall meetings, whatnot. I mean, I don't know him on a first name basis. I don't think he knows me, but uh, I need to know him, and I need to know where he stands on this kind of stuff, and I need to know what kind of police department we have here in my city, in Rowlett, Texas, and I need to support the folks who are doing good, and keep my eye out for the people who are abusing their authority and abusing their power. We are the check and the balance. So, and they need to know that. You know, I'm gonna follow the rules, and damn it, you're gonna follow them too. So, um, find out who your elected officials are. Get educated. Get engaged. Find out who the organizations are that are fighting against this. Um, um, like I said, I need to put the links up. There are lots of people that are popping into my head right now. Um, so that's where we start. All right. Protest with a purpose. Take some concerted action to not be apathetic, to fight apathy, and to embrace your responsibility as a citizen.